man. We live in a time that takes people, takes individuals like you. And I'm so proud that you all are here. You young men are here to be men. Okay? Now, I know Rod was telling you what I have done and who I am. Let me take off my jacket here, because Rod don't even know what I got on here. And tell you how much I love this fraternity and what we have done and the people have been in it. This is mega progressive. You see that? That is a group of men from Omega, this long, as old as I am, who decided to stay together and be men and do things positive, good things for people. This is actually an investment group where we invest money, invest our time, invest our money, invest our resources to help others. It's called Omega Progressive. And we've been doing this for years and years and years. It's something that I really, really cherish because it continues my involvement in this fraternity and what it means to be a man, to help people. You know what we do with this money? We give scholarships. Nobody knows this. We don't go out there and promote this. We don't go out there and say this and go on doing all of that. But we give this money, we raise this money, and we give scholarships. Now, don't get me wrong. When we have our business meetings, we have a lot of fun. Okay? We have a lot of fun. We do a lot of good things. We enjoy each other. We have camaraderie. We get together and do things. But we raise money in an investment club because we put our money in this fund, and then we invest it in the stock market. Okay? We have enough, we invested in the stock market. And we have a guy that oversees our investments in the stock market. He looks at it and he tells us what we're doing, and we get quarterly reports on how much our investment is worth and everything. So what I'm trying to tell you that being a man and being involved is a long-term investment on your part. Okay? It's nothing that you're just beginning, which is wonderful. You're just beginning to get it. But this is good. And what Rawl is doing for you guys is just absolutely fantastic. He's taking his time and his resources to be with you and to do things for you. Okay? Now, he wanted me to talk about, I'm going to talk about very briefly what I've done and who I am and what. There are things I've done in my life. I was the mayor of the city of Tallahassee. How many of you know that? Nobody. You knew that. Good. I'm glad. Thank you. I was the mayor of the city of Tallahassee for 12 years. You guys, some of you guys weren't even born, probably, maybe. Who's the oldest and who's 14 years old? 50? What's the oldest, Roy?
17.
17? Yeah, you would know. Okay. I was the mayor of the city of Tallahassee for 12 years. And I went to Florida State University a long time ago. And I pledged a fraternity a long time ago. But it has always been, that fraternity has always been a part of me to help me succeed in what I was doing. Now, let me tell you what I've done. I'm a lawyer. Okay? I graduated from FSU in 1969. I went to law school and graduated in 1972. Okay? So I got an undergraduate degree in business. Okay? And then after that, I went to law school at FSU and got my JD, which is a Juris Doctorate degree as a lawyer. I got it in 1972. You know what I did after that? I went into the military. I am a Vietnam era veteran. You all don't know about Vietnam. You heard about Vietnam. You heard something about the Vietnam War, right? You heard something about it. You don't know a lot, and you shouldn't know a lot about it. But I'm a war veteran. And it's kind of, people may not know this, man. I don't say this right, but I'm a disabled vet. Which means I incurred during my time in the military, I incurred a disability. And don't get me wrong, it was a minor disability. But nevertheless, I'm a disabled veteran of the Vietnam War. I served in the war. I served during the war. I didn't go to Vietnam. You all know. I got by that one. I didn't go to Vietnam. But nevertheless, I served my country and I served it well. And I'm very proud of the fact that I served my country. And some of you are going to do the same thing. And I want you to be proud of it. Be proud of the fact that you can serve the United States of America. It's a wonderful country. We got many, many privileges. We got some problems, right? We do have some problems, but nevertheless, trust me, what you have in America is wonderful, but we got to make sure that we maintain it. You know what? You guys are going to be responsible for doing it. That's going to be your charge. You got to be responsible for making sure that what we have and what we've gained and what we've done in America, we continue, and what we've done for African Americans will continue, okay? All right, and I mean this very sincerely. So after I got out of the military, I came back to Florida, and I worked in the state government, and then I went into private practice as an attorney, made a little money, okay? All right, nothing wrong with making a little money, right? You want to make a little money, right? You don't want to be poor, right? You want to make a little money, you want to live well, right? All right. So there's nothing wrong with that. And I make a little money, you know, and I'm well off. You come to my house. Raw's been to my house, right? I got 2.5 acre house. I got a swimming pool in the back. I got a, house, but I worked at it. Okay? I worked hard. And I want you all to do the same thing, because you all can experience the same thing. And you may have a better opportunity, quite frankly, to experience the same thing than I had 50 years ago when I had to really struggle. You may not have as much problems doing this as I have, but you got to have the mindset to do it. All right? You got to say, I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be good. I am going to, do the things that make me successful and make my family successful, make me successful, and make America, if you will, and I'm a patriot, make America successful, because you will be successful. Notwithstanding some of the other stuff you hear. Okay? All right? Then after I went to private practice, and then somebody convinced me to run for mayor of the city of Tallahassee. And I see some mayors in here. I do see some mayors in here. Okay? How many of you would like to be a mayor? Raise your hand. Oh, y'all smart. Nobody. Now, it really is a tough job sometimes, but it's a very rewarding job, because you get the opportunity to help a lot of other people. Okay? You get the chance to help so many other people. And, I did it for 12 years. For 12 years I did. Then I got out, and now I'm doing something different. And I'm doing something different. I have had multiple careers, but I've always moved up in my careers and just do some other things. Right now, I tell you, even wrong, man, I know this, right? I'm a network television executive. I am developing a network television, a television network called Black News Channel. 24 hours, 7 days a week, worldwide news channel devoted to provide news, information, and education for African Americans. But that's something else. So you get the chance to do a lot of things. I am proud of what I have done. I'm proud to be an Omega man. I'm proud to see you guys as Omega Lamplighters. The fact of the matter is, we want all of you to be Omega men. We really do. But first of all, I want you to be a man. Forget about, I want you to be a man. I want you to have responsibilities. I want you to be responsible for your conduct. I want you to be responsible for your family. I want you to be responsible for yourself. Be a man. Okay? I'm gonna stop there. Okay? If y'all have anybody got any questions or anything? Anybody? You sure?
Give them some of your like tips on being a good leader. Like if they were gonna be leaders.
Okay. I often give a speech on what it takes to be successful, what it takes to be a good leader. And it really is. I thought about this for many, many times because at one point in time I sat down and said, wow, why do we have individuals, why do we have people that end up being great leaders? Or why do we have people that end up being successful? What is it? What are the characteristics? What is it about them, individuals, that make them successful or great leaders? And really, and what I'm going to say to you is not anything that's necessarily new, but I'm going to say it to a different way, and I want you to understand it, okay? I want you to see if you can get it. And I've given this speech so many times to individuals from corporate executives all the way down to you name it. It depends on when I do it in seminars over two or 3 days, and I give it over with you guys. It's going to be the quick and down and dirty. It's going to be the abbreviated part of this, okay? First of all, if you're going to be successful, you got to prepare yourself. You got to have preparation. You got to prepare yourself. That's easy. That's easy to know what I'm talking about. You got to get an education. You got to learn. You got to have, skills. You got to prepare yourself. And education is probably the primary thing that you can do for yourself. You got to prepare yourself. You got to have experiences in your life. Okay? You got to have things doing. You got to be educated. You cannot not go to school and be successful. Period. In these days and times, you can't. It's impossible. All right? The next thing is people. You got to associate yourself with people of like mind. People. Now, you can't associate yourself with a guy that's, and I'm going to use an extreme example, that's a murderer, or a guy's a drug dealer, and expect to be successful. Right? You understand what I'm saying? You cannot associate with those kinds of individuals. You got to associate with individuals of like mind who want to do and be who you are and be successful. Okay? As those are saying, if you lie down with dogs, you're going to get fleas. All right? And is that, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If you lie down with dogs, you're going to get fleas. So you have to, people, remember I said preparation, you got to prepare yourself. You got people, okay? People. The third one is what I call persona, personality. And what you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can do it. Okay? You have to believe that you have the ability to be successful. I used to tell people all the time, if you're going to be successful, you got to think successful. You got to think, I'm going to be this, right? You got to think. I thought I really didn't at the time. I didn't think I was going to be mayor, but I thought that I was going to be something like that. I even thought I was going to be a senator, a governor or something, but I had this mindset that I'm going to be somebody. And I call it persona. You got to have a persona. Now, every successful person I know, they have a persona. And if I say these names, you're going to immediately know that these people have this aura, this idea that they're going to be successful, that they're going to succeed. Jesus Christ. You know who I'm talking about when I say Jesus Christ, don't you?
Yes,
All right? And he was successful. All right? John F. Kennedy, and you may not know John F. Kennedy. Let me talk about Michael Jordan. He had in his mind that he was going to be successful. Okay? So you got to believe that you can do it. If you don't, just forget about it. Go. If you're going to be a drug dealer or whatever, do it. Okay? The other thing is you got to have what I call value. Let me put this. You got to bring value. Okay? You got to be such that what you do, you bring value to whatever you do. Okay? I don't care what it is. You can be on a basketball team. You can be on a debate team. You can be in a choir at your church. You can be anything. But if you don't bring value to that group, you can have a job. All right? You can be a trash man. I don't care, a garbage man, but if you don't bring value to that job, you're nothing. You got to bring value. And all of these things you do, you're going to bring value. If I'm a lawyer, if I don't bring value to my client, if you're on a basketball team, right? If you don't bring value to the group in that basketball team, get off. Steph Curry brings value, doesn't he? Kevin Durant brings value, doesn't he? All right, think about it. They bring value to the team, and if they don't, what happens? They get cut. What about Zion Williamson? Y'all think he's going? Who knows Zion? Y'all know? You think he's going to bring value?
Yes, sir.
And do you not understand? He worked at it. He didn't sit. He worked at bringing that value, and he's going to reap the success of that value. Okay, so you got to bring value to what you're doing. Okay, the other one is what I call vision, and it's kind of the same thing I've been talking about all the time. You gotta see into the future. You gotta kind of see, okay, what am I going to be? Okay, and think about it. You can dream about it. You can have visions about it. There's no problem having a vision. You can think about what you want to be in the future. You can think you want to do that. You want to have that goal to say, okay, I want to aspire to be an architect. I want to aspire to be an engineer. Okay. You got to have that vision in your mind. And you think about everybody that's been successful, they were visionaries. Jesus Christ. Was he a visionary?
Yes, sir.
Was he a visionary?
Yes, sir.
All right. Think about Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Was he a visionary?
Yes, sir.
He was. Martin Luther King was a true. You know what? I often said that Martin Luther King gave a speech called I Have a Dream. Really, it should have been named I Have a Vision. Because you see, I look at dreams. Dreams are something that may come true. For instance, I dream I'm going to hit the lottery. You dream about that, right? That's a dream. Don't say anything about this, but I dream I'll have a date with Halle Berry. That's a dream. The chances of that coming true, I dream that I can date, what's her name, Beyonce? That's a dream. It ain't going to come true. But if you have a vision, I believe you have a vision, you will work toward that vision to come true. Okay? You see, you got to see what the future holds for you, and you got to think about what the future holds for you. So what have I said thus far? I said, prepare yourself, persona. You got to have people around you. Preparation. You got to have people who are surrounding you. Persona, people surrounding you. You got to have a vision. You have to have value. You have to bring value. But there's one other thing that's probably the most important thing that you have to have. Okay? And I want to make sure you understand everything I said, all those other things I said are very important, and you cannot be successful without having all of them. Okay? You cannot be. But the one thing that I truly believe is that you have to have values. You have to have values. You cannot lie, steal, cheat, and expect to be successful. You understand? You cannot be a liar. You cannot be a thief. You cannot beat on people. You cannot do those things and expect to be successful. So that your value system, which I'm sure that each and every one of you are getting from your parents, and I know you're getting from wrong. Okay? You gotta have a value system. And let me, how many of y'all know about Hitler? Y'all heard of Hitler? Okay. Let me tell you something. Hitler did everything that I just thought about. Okay, he prepared himself. He had people around him. And if I say Hitler, you know what he looks like. He had a persona. Okay, he brought value to the German people. Okay, he had a vision for the future. But the thing that brought Hitler down was he had a faulty value system. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
And we got people around us now that have, and I think it's going to happen to them too. You got to have a value system that you say you want to lie, steal, cheat, tell, do all those bad things, Okay? So what have I said? I'm going to sum up. Okay, preparation. All right. People. Okay. Persona. Okay. I usually tell people to write this stuff down.
I thought they was.
Persona. Okay. You gotta bring value. Okay. You gotta have a vision. And then you gotta have a value system. Actually, I call that speech, by the way, PQBQ. And I can always remember it that way because I developed that when I was mayor. But that's what I believe. I thought about this so many times. So anyway, that's what I believe. And if anytime you need me, you got me, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Somebody want to ask me a question? Huh? Yeah, go ahead.
How long did you serve in the army?
In the Army, I was, and I wasn't.
Well, in the army was.
I was in the Air Force.
Oh,
I was an Air Force JAG officer. You know what a JAG officer is?
no, sir.
That's an attorney.
Okay.
I was an attorney in the Air Force for 4 years. I was at a base called Travis Air Force Base, California, during the Vietnam War, which you all know about. And I was a JAG officer for 4 years at that base in California. Okay? Anybody else? Yes, sir.
What was your governors when you were mayor?
Who was my governor? I think Charlie Chris was for a while, was the governor, and so was Scott.
Yeah, I mean.
Charlie Chris and Scott, they were my governor. You know what? I got along. Oh, and Bush.
Yeah.
Bush. I really got along well with Bush. What's his name? Jeb. I really got really along with Jeb. Jeb and I have some very good moments together. And Charlie, I had some good moments with Charlie. Actually, I had some good moments with Scott, especially his wife, because she used to invite me to the mansion a lot. But no, those are the folks I served. Yeah. Okay? Yes, sir.
Is it possible for you to know anybody like that was in the
You got to
army?
speak up. Come on. I want to hear you.
Is it possible for you to know somebody that was in the army?
In the Army?
Yeah.
Oh, I know a lot of people in the Army. I know people in the Navy, Army, and whatever. And they did well. They enjoyed it.
Do you know Roy Jackson?
Who?
Roy Jackson?
No, I don't know him. I don't know him. I know a lot of people who served. One of my best friends was a Navy pilot, and he went on to be, matter of fact, he pledged with me, Harold Hotel. He went on to be president and chief executive officer of some major corporate entities. And all those things I'm talking about, for success, he personifies those. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, you got a question? Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Huh? You gotta speak up. Let me tell you something. When you talk to me, I wanna hear you. I don't want you to be shy. I want you to, have I been, did I whisper to you guys?
No,
All
sir.
right, did I just,
No, sir.
speak up, and don't be afraid to speak up. Okay, go ahead.
D'Amico Burton, 11th grade, going to Leon High School. How hard is it to be a mayor?
You know, if you prepare yourself, you do all the things I just talked about, it's not hard. But it is difficult because you gotta deal with a lot of people who have a lot of different interests, a lot of different thoughts, a lot of different ideas that may be different from yours. But you gotta have the people's heart and mind. You gotta have what you can believe is right for your people. And then you gotta follow your gut, if you will. They elected you. If they elected you, they believe in you. And they believe that you can lead them, okay? And so you have to lead them because they want you to lead them. You have to listen, however, to what they want. And it doesn't become difficult. Let me tell you, you sit down. Let me tell you another thing that I learned. After all these years, I finally learned. But if you really want to be successful, I read a book by a guy named Malcolm Gladwell, and it's a great book, and he talks about those individuals who were successful. And this may blow your mind a little bit, okay? It really may blow your mind a little bit. But he says that in order to truly be successful, it takes 10,000 hours of work. 10,000 hours. He calls it the 10,000 hour rule. And you will not become an expert, not become successful, not become really, really successful until you put in 10,000 hours. Think about that. 10,000, that's a lot. But in order to be successful, you've got to do that. It's a 10,000 hour rule. And it really makes sense. And the classic example he's given is the Beatles. Y'all know the Beatles?
Yes, sir.
That song? You all probably don't know, but they came over in like 1965. And when they came over, they were this smashing success. Right off the bat. I mean, right when they came, a lot of us didn't like them too much, but if you listen to their songs now, they're really pretty good. They're really very good. They came over way before you guys were born. Anything like thought about them. But when they first got here, they were a smashing success. And the reason for that is this. For about 3 or 4 or 5 years, they were in Europe playing in hovels, playing in Germany, and playing in Czechoslovakia, and playing day after day, night after night, continuously they played. And by the time they got to America, they had their 10,000 hours. But it took them about 4, 5, 6 years to get there before they even got to America. And what I'm just trying to think, Michael Jordan, you know Michael Jordan? He put in his 10,000 hours. Trust me. He may be good, but he put in 10,000 hours dribbling that ball, shooting that basket, doing all of those. He put in those time. You got to put in the time. It's the 10,000 hour rule by a guy named Malcolm Gladwell. And it really, really means something. And some of us, it takes more than, if you think about it, it takes more than just, it takes more than, some people can do it in 10 years. But it took me about 20 years to do it. So it doesn't matter how long it takes, it's just a matter how much you put into it and how much you want to put in. Some people, you're just not going to do it overnight. But before you become an expert in any field, I would tell you, it's gonna take you a minimum of 10. I know that sounds really, really challenging. It really is very challenging, but it's true. So you're just at the beginning. Just think about one thing. You got the opportunity to do it, okay? Anything else? You guys are great, okay? And these folks love you. That's one thing else. These folks love you and love what you're doing. All right? You gotta remember that. Your parents love you,
Yes, sir.
don't they?
Yes,
Sir.
And they want you to succeed. Listen to them, okay? I'm going. All right, thank you. Gotta go cook for my wife. Y'all don't think I'm doing that, do you? I do. I cook for my wife every night.
Let me get a picture with you and,
All right,
the guy
sure.
for the march.
All right. Come on, guys. I love it. I gotta get my medallion. I'm gonna get the ring. See that?
So, Kyle, y'all gonna have to like come in some.
I'm not even a football player.
Y'all come, guys, come. Y'all step.